monster.
All right, but here we go. Draft up for game number 2. Afreeca, can they finally do it? Not only just beat KT, but can they do it in a 2-0? Something very rare.
A 2-0 for Afreeca on the first day of their season would certainly change some of the storylines that permeated last year, like Afreeca's inability to do so was 3-game series facing every time with them. As we look at the bans here, and we will still once again see the Camille ban. It is a flex ban between Keen and Spirit.
And then Callista, which is just a flat ban across every team everywhere at the moment here.
And KT do not wish to first pick Kog'Maw. If we've learned anything, you either first pick him, or he's going to go over to the side of the red team. So, second ban, the Kog'Maw. Ezreal is now the most prized AD carry that's still available. Seeing the pick and ban stats of Callista over history, very high ban rate. I believe that's all games ever played in the LCK, a statistic 1921 games, and that would mean, remember, that Callista was not enabled for a large majority of those 1921 games.
Yeah.
Lets you know that Callista's had a very high ban rate when she's been available. And now we're done with the A tier, the S tier, I guess you should say, of AD carries. Doesn't mean like something Tristana might go to the red side if not first picked, because some of those mid laners, like for example the Azir, are going to be something looked at. Maybe a Zoe as well. I'll have to wait and see.
Oh, Kog'Maw and Rise.
Tahm Kench also a very likely first pick, or Sejuani. So Sejuani banned. Tahm Kench priority has been very, very high. We'll see if KT follow on that trend.
Take that one off the board. The Kha'Zix's still going to be available here. Wasn't something that had that much success, but yet again, we're going to see the GP go on to here from the side of KT Rolster. You can see Smeb right there making it, trying to make an argument. He's like, look, I know game 1 we lost, but it wasn't my fault. I was up in gold.
And I think a lot of people have been wondering what side of Smeb will we see, because in this season there was that he played a lot of carries last year, and carries certainly are possible here. Remember that this is against a carry type. It's against Keen, who has only shown carries really as his strength. So my read on this is, in another game, remember Shen was banned in game 1. Shen's available here. Smeb is a fantastic top lane Shen player, probably the best in the world. He doesn't want to take Shen because Keen would be very happy on the gangplank in that counter matchup. So he feels like, against this particular matchup, my read is, doesn't want to give him the gangplank, doesn't want to give him a carry matchup. Does mean they first picked the gangplank that didn't work out for them in game 1.
Also means that we could see the Gnar come through yet again from the Afreeca Freecs. Just put Keen right back onto that pick and allow him to try to run away with the top lane. But you can see there, the Kha'Zix's going to be coming through. Score trying his hand at it in game 1. Spirit this time going to go ahead and take the reins.
We would have to be now selected at that final pick on the red side, or very likely banned from KT to provide some coverage I should say, from the gangplank. That was a hard word. But look at KT. They probably will look towards the bottom lane here, and Braum certainly is jumping up in terms of his tank supports. Braum versus Tahm Kench. Not the most interactive, but we've already kind of taken for granted the bot lane is 4 relic shields, and us watching other lanes.
So those few picks that KT were really able to get was big help coming through from that Braum, but Varus banned the second round. The last ban that we saw in game number 1 will be picked up here already by Deft.
Funny how the bot lane has become the top lane of yore, in that we just don't watch it because everyone's just stacking up all their relic shield stacks. And you mentioned it, Varus was banned in the previous game, a comfortable pick for Deft. Braum Varus is insane pick, CC. One of the reasons why this is strong is Tahm Kench goes for a walk to put down wards. You die instantly to the double stuns coming through, and that's why safety is taken by Kramer. And now I get to answer the dirty question of, will it be Relic Shield Caitlyn, which I know I didn't like any sort of itemization that wasn't aggressive as a starting item for the Caitlyn in previous metas where people were experimenting with supporting items. So it is Kramer, so we're thinking he's going to go towards the Relic Shield, but it does doesn't put a
I mean, it's
smile
Kramer.
on my
maybe
face.
Maybe it's AP. I don't know what this guy's going to do.
Yeah.
He's always cooking up some weird stuff. But Malzahar is going to be the first ban to come through from Afreeca here in the second half.
Does suggest Azir as a first pick on the red side here for Afreeca Freecs. Kuro could return to that after winning, and
there's the Gnar ban.
They do get the coverage on the Gnar, so the price of taking Caitlyn, because if Caitlyn was not selected here, there would have been 2 more AD carry bans. Price of taking Caitlyn is that it's a bit safer for the gangplank in the top side for KT. You always have to trade songs. Why I love Captain's Draft, why I love Best of 3, because we got the adaptations after the first game. So Malzahar bans so far. Seems like it's going to be a first pick on the red side mid laner. The side of Kuro could just end up being the same mid lane matchup if the Azir is selected, and Rengar safety ban against the Kazakhs, just like we saw from KT Rolster in Game 1.
Just take that one off the board, so a few options still remaining there. Maybe we just see the Zac come through on the opposite side, just have the junglers trade off there. Not quite score style, but see what he wants to go for.
Risky because the solo lanes can kind of go crazy here if they last pick a top lane into counter matchup. Maybe Zac will get invaded a lot, and will be the Zoe ban, and no mid laners have been selected yet. Azir versus Veigar, again, could be our matchup here. Depends if Kura wants to try to hold his pick to later or if he's just happy to lock in Azir. Okay, this would be very different. They'd also be super heavy on the physical damage if they went here.
That'd be quite a lot. Caitlyn, Lucian, and the Kazakhs.
It'd be a pretty bizarre pick to me, but could also be... Okay, think about this. You know what? This is a Lucian top. This is Lucian top to try to bust through the gang plan. This is a lane counter choice by Keen. It will not be a Lucian middle, from what I'm expecting.
In the meantime, though, playing with my heart,
it's going to be
his pawn, You know, flashes the Zed for just a second, but seems like Azir going to be the likely lock-in here, and there we go. So what is going to be the last pick? The Jax at the end.
So it's going to be Jax Jungle. This is a pick that is pretty popular in Korea right now. It's been around scrims as well. Tank Jax Jungle has been pretty popular. The first person we saw play it was Malrang, you remember, for Everett Winners in the summer season. He was the master of the Jax Jungle. Beyond tried it as well to mixed success. Let's see
if you're right.
I think I'm right.
Yeah,
so,
okay, it does seem that way.
Top lane Lucian, something Keen has played in solo queue, something that works well into Gangplank. This is the lane counter I was talking about.
Right as soon as he left. To bring this one back out. So Lucian into the top lane, Veigar in mid for Kuro, trying this opposite matchup now.
So lots of new stuff here. Tank, Jax, jungle. We're going to wait for the trade here. Keen's trying to play with our hearts and go for a top lane Veigar. That's not going to happen, I don't think. But it's also going to be, as I said, Tank, Jax, jungle, and also the top lane Lucian trying to wail away on the gangplank. Similar, if you think about it, to the Nar matchup, except you don't have the very long-range harass of the Q. Very interesting. So a lot of new picks. Yesterday we were getting Vlad top, getting turret dives on the gangplank. Now we're getting Lucian. Everyone, with how popular top lane gangplank has been in Korea, has been cooking up their own counter, and now we're going Huni style with the top lane Lucian.
Like we said, it's going to take some time to kind of flesh out 8.1, figure out what the best picks are going to be, what the best team comps are going to be, so we still have that experimentation coming through.
And that's why you have to love this new top lane carry for Afreeca, meaning that, hey, if you got a carry, I've got a carry that beats your carry. That's what happens when Smeb and Keen face each other. Score on the Tank, Jax, jungle, not full DPS like you're losing solo queue games. Mid lane, it's going to be the reverse matchup.
Yep.
Azir is going to be on the hands of Pawn, and it's going to be actually the shoe on the other foot this time, as farming away will Kuro.
Just trading places. In the meantime, it's just going to be a poke fest down into that bottom lane with the Caitlyn and the Varus back and forth, built over Peacemaker and a piercing arrow. Lots of P's, lots of poke to be had. Let's go ahead and see how this one's going to turn out. Afreeca now up 1-0 KT. Can they go ahead and even the score? Or is this going to be a 2-0, a rare one for the Afreeca Freecs? Let's find out. All right, and here we are. So just trading places there into that mid lane. Kuro now with this Veigar. We'll see how he's able to pilot this one. We only saw a couple picks come through from Pawn. The lockdowns there mostly in on to the Zac from Spirit. Able to get those final blows in with Primordial Burst. We'll see Kuro as his luck turn out.
Kuro on the side of the Azir was triumphant in the previous game. Wasn't able to take advantage of the pushing power early. The laning phase actually went very well for the Veigar. It can go much worse. If an early gank comes off through the heal, through the unsealed spellbook, things can go really bad for the Veigar early. So we kind of saw the best case scenario, which is farm lane for Veigar in game one. Now that the shoe's on the other foot, now that Pawn will want to prove himself on the aggressor side of the lane matchup. Fun to track in the mid lane. Very defensive setup by Afreeca Freecs, because level 1 Braum, of course, is something to fear, and apparently it's a realistic thing to fear because they're coming for an invade.
They are. Blue buff now going to get started up. 3v3 here in the jungle. Mata leading the charge. Jump forward comes through from Score. That's going to be an instant flash away by Spirit. He's going to get stunned up. They get the proc. He gets the smite off to try to stay alive. One more hit will do it, and that's going to be death. coming up with the first blood, but now Kuro is pushing his way through. He's going to flash in. Heal comes out from depth, but he is still going to go down. One more auto from the Veigar will finish him off. Score running low as well. Tucson trying to get the slow up. Can he get the Devour? He jumps over to the side with the blue buff. Seems like he will be able to make it out alive, but so many flashes on all sides coming through, and it's going to be Kramer getting the final blow. A 2-for-1 in the end. Afreeca coming out on top, but they do lose out that first blood.
Between the Golem and Kramer goes down the final kill this time for Afreeca Freecs. Big invade by KT because of the Braum level 1, but a big cost in the end. Now it's going to miss at least a bit of experience. Top laners will wonder what the hell was going on in the rest of this map. Remember, this is probably going to isolate top lane longer, Achilles, because the jungle is going to be way behind in their clears. More time for Lucian to have his way with the Gangplank top lane. So that's another area where Afreeca wins out, is that with the junglers slowed down, the isolated top lane matchup suits the Lucian.
And it does. What a wacky start. After it took so long for us to get into game 1 and finish that one out, we'll just have all hell break loose here at the start of game number 2. So, 8 flashes being used in that entire exchange.
You were waiting for some League of Legends, because hell have we got some tonight. We still got a second series. It's going to be a fun one as well.
It's been bubbling up since September, so here we go. The bubble had to burst eventually. It didn't take too long, as it turns out. But Afreeca, yeah, going to be starting things off with about a 400 gold lead. With those 2 kills coming through, we'll see how that is going to develop as we keep moving through here. Spirit finally able to finish off that blue buff.
Talk a little bit about the top lane matchup. You can understand that Gangplank does best into melee matchups because you can just parlay away and get lots of gold. Does very well into tanks. Range matchups are always his worst nightmare. And Lucian also, just how the ranges work here make things even better. Notice that he's gone for Summoner Airy just for those auto attack trades. 1 auto, then a proc to Summoner Airy. But if you think about Smeb's only way to interact is only counter-harass the parlay. If you're in range for parlay, you're in range for Q double tap from the Lucian. So you just lose every single trade, and pretty one-sided, just like the Vladimir matchup that we saw yesterday. And frees up Kuro to not expect too much magic resist and power people down after he gets some AP.
Certainly going to need some visitation there into that top lane as Smeb. Trying to get a gank there on the Keen, who's playing so far forward.
He doesn't have a care in the world.
Yeah, he's got a ward in the river, that's about it. Any wraparound from behind through that tri-brush would catch him completely off guard. And, you know, stun coming through from the Jax, you'd have to expect that it would be one dead Lucian.
I mean, this is the right play from Keen. Again, think of the available information. Level 1 Fiesta, meaning the enemy jungler is behind, winning matchup. We know that Keen can win in winning matchups, and Afreeca have shown us, just like with Marin, let's give him the good side of the matchup. Let's try and get him ahead. Afreeca actually slowed down a little bit with Marin, you remember. He started just blind picking Maokai. But on SKT, he found his success with the counter pick, and now Keen gets the counter pick, and he's going to try and run one.
Things going all right here for Pawn so far. 10 CS up here in this mid lane is at a disadvantage still. The gold's still going to be there for Kuro with that kill and the assist to come out of the level 1 antics. See that first back come through. It's going to be the null magic and an extra Doran's ring there for Pawn.
It was a relic shield, Caitlin.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Kramer.
Pull one out for damage. Remember when people got AD along with their health at level 1? Those were the days.
No longer. Welcome to Season 8.
Why are we watching bot lane? It's the most boring ever. That's all fun.
How things have changed. It used to be the top lane. The wet
now it's
fights.
Great. The top lane's wonderful.
It's the spot to be at. That's what you want to see.
But, do it again, Observer. Come on, someone up there.
Things
Observer.
changed it up.
Let him know.
Look, somebody triggered the trap, all right? The shot came through.
Triggered
Mata
me, too.
We got to keep Papa happy. Go, cut away.
Look, you can come back at level 6 where Braum and Varus can run wild trying to kill someone. But for now, it's boring. Boring. I'll watch the minimap and I'll let you know that Jax just power farming. Expect Cinderhulk. There's not going to be any Devourer Trinity Force hijinks like Solo Q.
I don't know. This is such an interactive viewer experience. All those tongue lashes coming through.
Oh, the Devourer's ready to come at the same time as shields. Great stuff.
Oh, that's going to be Emperor's Divide coming through there from Pawn. Flash away. Does keep Kuro safe, however, so not going to get caught out.
And that's cool to see, because that is what Azir needs to do in this matchup is, hey, no happy farm times with your flash and heal up. I'm going to try and kill you because of the nature of Azir. We did not see that from Kuro. It didn't end up costing him in the end game, but that's what's possible in the Azir side of the matchup, and so it's good to see.
Trying to take that lead, so going to be pretty vulnerable there. Just Kuro here for the moment. farming continues as we cut back down to the bottom lane.
Score will be maxing W. We actually see E-max sometimes here, just to have it twice in a single fight. Cooldown very long on the Counter-Strike at level 1. But again, the AoE stun, the fact that he has so much mobility with the Q, it's a weird pick, and I can understand why a lot of people look at Tank Jax and wonder why. I know there was some in other regions where analysts just couldn't really make heads or tails of it. Very high win rate in Korea. Malrang on an Ever8 winner's side that did not win a lot of games was undefeated on the Jax, and I think Beyond went 1-1 overall. So good clear speed, good ganks, and also creative ganks. You can do all sort of manner of things with Flash Q in terms of gap close. So I'd known to expect it. So cool to see.
Kramer's still going to take that damage. Tucson spitting him out just a bit too early there. Kramer comes through. He's knocked down to below half HP. Another hit coming down, and Tucson just doing his damnedest to try to get these tongue lashes through, but can't get enough to be able to get those devours off onto Motto or Deft.
No minion dematerializes this time for the instant 6 into double all-in on the bot side, which is what Varus and Braum love to do. Level 6 power spec, massive, just like when Malzahar hit 6, a lot can happen. And kill the Tahm Kench, even from his relatively high health total. Top lane, it's been a lot of pain for Smeb, but not a disaster. 20 CS down is about what you'd expect for isolated, no jungle help, Gangplank versus Lucian.
Deft and Motto, just a slight roam up the river there. Taking out that Scuttle Crab where they can. Ian still just asserting his dominance. 20 CS in the lead here so far with this Lucian. He is still having one heck of a time.
Control wards on the side are for Smeb, so at least he knows no dive is incoming. Does have the stopwatch to try to turn one around. No jungle attention top. Jungler's kind of been in that weird spot where they try to catch up because of all the hijinks at level 1. Or returns to lane. You can see he's been feeling the pain a bit more than his opposing number. No early Negatron here. It's actually going to be the upgraded Ruby Crystal into the Amp Tome and working towards the Proto Belt with the Kindle Gem he's sitting on. So at least a bit of health here to try to respect the next potential all-in from Pawn. But otherwise, Q stacking away. You do vary your skill order as well, depending on how tanky you're going. If you're going to rush something like the Abyssal Mask, you usually go 2 points into W, so you can clear the back wave faster. But if you're going to be going for... Basically, you tailor your build. So you want to max stun second, but you might put extra points in W depending on how tanky the build you're going and how low AP you'll be in the early game. Back to top side, and again, Smeb knows not being dived, so he kind of accepts the fact that he gets 2, 3, or 4 minions out of every minion wave.
Slow and steady as she goes. Spirit working his way up towards that top side as his score will be spotted by that ward in the river. He's throwing one down there into the Tri-Brush, yeah. So Spirit could walk in through lane, but it's already shoved so far forward because he has just been all up in Smeb space this entire time. So no real point, so Spirit can just go ahead and keep going through the jungle.
Sort of communication that I think you should compliment a team for is that it's apparent to Afreeca that they don't own the vision around mid to top side, so a lane gank or going for your golems at the top and then a lane gank is probably the only way to prey upon what is a winning lane matchup. So the only way to snowball this matchup is to come through top side. So good communication, but probably won't lead to a kill at this juncture. Pawn hasn't gone for the second all-in. Probably not going to see Event Horizon used with any reckless abandon. His already Proto Belt is complete here, so a little bit of kill potential for Kuro.
Bit of extra damage, but also, that nice little gap closer, maybe gap creator to get away from the Azir. Needed. Yeah, just slow and steady. Taking this one nice and patiently there. Bit of a slow burn of a game.
Late game, we try to evaluate who that suits. It's pretty hard to read because it feels like Jack's jungle's power level, full tank in the late game, it's kind of undefined. 40% CDR is certainly annoying with all the AoE stuns, and still does respectable damage. And then you look at Afreeca, and they're Tahm Kench and 4 carries. So it's going to be very interesting as the game flows on. I think there's more hard CC on the side of KT, but again, we've role reversed because Afreeca do have the catch potential of the Veigar, and everyone's dying to the Veigar this game apart from Jax. So I think vision control is going to be the big story. Mid-game vision control, I think, will snowball this game one way or the other. Mid-game's still far away. Still seeing pretty defensive itemization from Pawn going first buy into the Mercs and not something like the Stinger. It means extended laning phase, means more downtime for us to parlay.
Hooray. Isn't that just a favor? I mean, we had so much action earlier, Papa Smithy, at the beginning of the broadcast that having this downtime is such a nice change of pace.
Agreed. It has been an interesting day, Achilles. We are 2 hours 20 into our broadcast and only at game 2.
Who knows how long this one could go for?
This one could definitely be a slow burn.
Yeah. You know what else is a bit of a slow burn?
What?
Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, we're getting suspicious now how to talk about Blade Runner.
Our personal sponsorship with I don't even remember which studio it was that made it, but
Sony.
oh yes, it was Sony. How could I forget? Given all the ad placement that was inside Kuro. So throwing down that event horizon, we'll go ahead and burn out the cleanse from Pawn. It's also going to stop them from getting that Rift Herald.
Doesn't mean that Kura alone stops the pace of the game being increased by KT. Stops that from being an early Rift Herald purchase. We've seen a lot of hard counter matchups. I kind of use a bit of inverted commas there because we're kind of evaluating just how hard counter they are. But you think yesterday to the King Zone matchup where Vlad had a massive lead and there were games where we had the teleport Sivir trying to push in an Ezreal but not get the turret. Credit to the side of Keen. He does actually have a lot of turret damage done already to KT's turret. That's why you see score pathing around top. It's one thing losing in CS, another thing actually losing your turret as Gangplank at 13 minutes. So we could see 2v2, and note that Spirit is spotted here.
Not going to be as sneaky as you would like. We'll go ahead and just finish off that ward there in the end, but not going to be finding the kill. In the meantime, though, Scores weeding in the brush. Counter-Strike comes up. Goes down. The control ward, though, and he'll just go ahead and have to clear that one out. We were so close to having some action, but that would be against the run of play here, Papa Smithy.
Exactly, against type. We don't play against type here in the LCK. Slow and steady only.
Yeah.
We're all hares. Oh, sorry, we're
Slow
all
and
tortoises.
steady only, and we watch nothing but the bottom lane.
And apparently Blade Runner. Speaking of Blade Runner.
Yeah, he's going to try to dash away, but the Counter-Strike still connects. Trades back a little bit of damage there. On to Score, but seems like he's going to be just fine.
Back to the farming phase again. You expect a lot more KT pathing around top side to stop this turret from going down.
But this is a problem when you do have those exciting level 1 plays, especially when they're really messy ones, is that everybody decides, like, okay, that was too crazy. KT's like, you know what? We gave up 2 kills. We can't afford to do that. Guys, we need to play really smart and conservatively. And they just do nothing but sit back.
And that's kind of the worry, is that, you know, in the LPL you double down on aggression. Here we double down on defensiveness. Like,
all in.
What is the cost of me getting that extra minion? I've let my flash down. That's just the way we roll here.
Sometimes you just got to go all in. Didn't work out for you. Ocean Drake will go over to KT. 14 minutes and 40 seconds there on that take. And it's going to be a Cloud Drake, so we're not even going to be getting too many interesting Drakes to start off the game.
Another small advantage that we didn't see in the reverse matchup is KT taking objectives against the I really only want to farm, please don't do anything Vhagar. So I like to see when you have a pushing advantage, extra objectives coming in, so are able to take that turret, that objective, but turret HP very low for Smeb, as we outlined a couple of times. He wants to teleport back in, no minion wave. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to continue the turret. In fact, he has to stay because his minion wave is so far away.
It's not to stop, so it's just going to buy some nice time there for Keen. So he'll go back to base, get another purchase in. Doesn't have the TP himself, so we'll have to run back. So he'll be arriving a little bit behind Smeb in all likelihood. But that's going to be the Blade of the Ruin King completed for him. That power really amassing for this Lucian, who is very far ahead as far as the CS is concerned. Again, Parlay plus the Klepto gold coming through for Smeb will help carry back a little bit of that deficit, but this is still pretty crushing to see so far for this, new top laner for the side of the Afreeca Freecs.
Yeah, the Kleptomancy, of course, one of the big extra gold generations, like you mentioned, the Frostfang in the jungle. But another new thing, talked about a couple of times, is hyper carries in bot lane. And people ask why. Why hyper carries? We're not necessarily seeing the most tanks, so why do we see Kog'Maw, Varus, both of them going for the early Ginsu Rageblade? The reason for that, Achilles, is that everyone has a million heals and a million shields in the bot lane with overheal and fleet footwork, so you're actually freely getting away with rushing items like Ginsu Rageblade that have the very low power early, but then turn into big power when they're completed, because the laning phase is so long. You can get a Rageblade or an Infinity Edge, very expensive items that usually are second or third, with no cost, because laning phase is so damn long.
Deft going low, takes that turret shot. A lot of hits coming through, flash forward on the tongue lash. Glacial Fissure will catch Kramer as he gets knocked up. not really even worth going for the ace in the hole there, as it would just be blocked out by Mata with that unbreakable.
Some RNG crits didn't happen.
He's getting pinched on. Does not have that last cone available. In the meantime, Spirit will get locked down by the Counter-Strike. TP's coming through. Will get canceled out in the end, and everybody's just going to go their separate ways.
The bot lane is being pushed in. I'm not even sure who that teleport was from.
I believe it was Kuro.
It was Tucson.
And Tucson. They both have cooldowns there on
Yeah, it was double TP, and Tucson had switched over, support switching over to the teleport with unsealed spellbooks, one of those cheeky things you can do in the laning phase, especially when no one's dying. You don't need an ignite or an exhaust when everyone's farming up their relic shields. Mid lane.
Ring of action coming through there. Pawn now locked into that event horizon, but didn't really get on top of him. Spirit a bit too low to go forward, and School waiting in the wings, so they go ahead and they peel back.
Not in kill range with just a Proto Belt and CDR boots, so that's why no attempt at the ultimate there from Kuro. Return to the Rift Herald that was thwarted by Kuro earlier.
So this one started up. And it seems like they're just going to have to let this one go to the side of KT, so could enable them to go ahead and pick up a turret here. We'll see where they want to allocate that Rift Herald use.
Nice timing. If you notice, Lucian was dealing with minions under his turret one of the first times he was pushed in, and Veigar was in base, so get it for free after it was contested last time. Nice little move by KT. They're getting small advantages from the pressure in mid lane, but definitely nothing to break open the end. Definitely nothing game-deciding happening through the Azir advantage in terms of tempo over the Veigar.
A lot of finding that slow on the Tucson, but just not juicy enough of a target. Then Horizon coming down, not going to catch anybody. Just go ahead and clear out that control ward. It's likely just going to be a bit of a wave clear war here in the mid lane. Jump forward, Counter-Strike, good flash away by Keen, keeps himself safe. But another summoner spell burned out just from that threat of the E from the Jax.
See what it means? Multiple members from KT on the bottom side, but no one providing coverage for Def to get free autos into what is now a half health HP turret here from Afreeca in the bot side. We just return to that laning phase again. I talked a bit about mid-game vision. We're not quite in the mid-game. The mid-game might be a bit delayed given how this game has played out. It's been, the breakneck pace of the early game into a much slower early game. For now, at least, a lot of vision control predictably around the Rift Herald that KT just took. See where it's going to be plopped down. For now, Jax is in the mid lane, but they would love to crack that mid lane turret, force Veigar to be farming around his inner turret, but it's a multi-step process where you want deep vision and also first rotation from, say, a gangplank to actually get that outer mid lane turret. Feeling more confident. He's got the Trinity Force complete, working towards his Yoma's Ghostblade as well, so things getting a bit better after what was, of course, a woeful early laning phase for the GP.
We'll have that burst damage coming through pretty soon here, but Keen's still going to be rather elusive, so connecting those barrels is going to be still a bit of a challenge there for him.
Yeah, turret HP. The Rift Herald would instant kill the bot lane outer turret. An option there is mid lane.
That's going to be the Emperor's Divide coming through. Kuro jumping away with a Proto Belt, throws down that Event Horizon, trying to trade some damage back on the Pawn.
Oh!
He does just that. Leap forward comes through from the Spirit, but he cannot get the execution. Pawn with just a sliver of HP will make it out with his life. Now Kuro in a bad spot. Cannon Barrage comes down. He's in with that stopwatch, keeps himself alive and has to flash out at the end. The cannonballs still would have finished him off. Now Rift Herald drawn out into the mid lane, looking to finish off this turret. It seems like they will be able to do so. So first tower for KT going over. Be a bit too late, still looking for the play as Tucson comes in with an Abyssal Voyage. Keen in on the backside, looking for score. Gets a little bit of damage in onto him, but instead they want Smeb. He's going to be the juicier target, the easier one to lock down. Event Horizon not quite going to be able to lock him in. He's got that orange to keep himself safe, and Smeb, will he make it out here alive? Event Horizon comes down.
Oh, it just does!
No!
Wait,
he made it out! Are you kidding me? Smeb didn't get caught by the Event Horizon.
Sonya's teleport! Holy crap! Look at that by Smeb. Gets out!
He makes it out alive at the end with the stopwatch. He's been holding on to that for so long.
Sometimes the broken
And
stopwatch
right
is nothing, Achilles. Sometimes you're blinging out of control. Saw by Ambition yesterday with his Cataclysm on 5 members. Let's see the replay here.
I would love to. We have to have that. In the meantime, yeah, he's gone. Just roll the replay. Who cares about the Azir?
What's happening bot lane? Let's see some more farming.
Oh, Ojian, please, I need to catch.
You know, I think they picked up with the crowd going crazy that something great happened there. Smeb managed to live in spite of everything.
The observers were so excited they forgot to record it.
I mean, KT's playing. It makes sense. See what that all means. Does mean control wards around Baron for KT. They do own the river. That's why you see them kind of accidentally walking over to this Drake. They'll take that one for free. Waiting for the cool replay. Not going to get that just yet. But KT, they're just happy on controlling the map confidently. Second Drake of the game. Added to the ocean is the pick up there. Cloud Drake for KT.
On not taking any chances. Immediately jumps away before that event horizon really even gets cast. Got the sand tower set up there into the top lane to help catch the wave. Make sure they're not pushing forward towards that tier 2. Spirit and Kuro in the wings. Not going to be looking to pinch in onto that mid side of the map. Moment just going to be wrapping around and joining in. Kuro roaming back up, so we'll just be trying to match pawn up top.
Want to try and get some control around the red side jungle here for KT. Baron's certainly a real possibility for them. Counter-Strike to dodge some of the initial damage, and a full tank Jax can tank it forever. They have very high Baron damage with Varus, with the Rage Blade, Azir, and also the Gangplank. Any of these outer turrets around the Baron adds that insurance, Kilios, for the Baron start. So I think Baron is going to be the big play here for KT Rolster.
Go for this one. Oh! Straight over onto the Flascone.
Calculated.
Spirit takes that nice little extra hop over the wall.
Man, if Smeb is writing a diary of today's game on Gangplank, he's going to have a lot of stories to tell. A lot of near misses with death.
Today I almost died, and then I almost died again.
But in just different comical ways half the time. It's great.
Unreal. Kramer just trying to maintain this trap wall here.
KT now have 3 control wards. Not as much deep vision as they want on the red side jungle, but Baron is on everyone's mind. All 10 players understand what KT's motive is here, so seeing the vision wars and just the fact that KT know that Afreeca have to keep sweeping it, the chance to pick someone gets higher and higher. Gold values pretty similar among the AD carries, and honestly, even similar between Gangplank and Lucian. Thanks for the gold there from the Klepto.
Yep. Even while behind nearly
2 turrets as well.
That's true. That does go through. He's helping out quite a bit. We'll see how this one's going to keep developing here. All those outer turrets now taken by KT. Just the one for Afreeca.
Big lane assignment advantage here for KT.
Down.
Spirit should know. Okay,
advantage scale getting popped, and they'll just dash away.
Right now, Lucian is bot lane answering the Gangplank. Neither of them have teleport, but of course, global impacts are plenty for KT.
This will voyage here, yeah. Kramer coming forward. He's got that red buff to help slow up Pawn. But that's just about going to be it.
Multiple members topside means see KT rushing mid. They can also ride the minion wave bot lane into an inner turret. That's why you see Veigar hop skipping in a jump. No ghost for him, though.
Colin coming through here from Keen, trying to get some damage down onto Smeb.
Does not want
a little bit, but that's about it.
Smeb actually intentionally tanks the culling to keep minions alive to try to take this turret.
Now Mata pushing forward here. Not going to get caught by that event horizon. Just takes a couple turret shots. Still relatively healthy there with this Braum. KT just going back and forth, looking for an opening to get into these turrets. They already have a considerable amount of damage here onto this mid-tier 2. Definitely going to be the recipient of a tongue lash, but that's about it.
How annoying is it when you're KT and you're trying to ride between bot lane and mid lane, and on one side there's 5 traps, on the other side there's an event horizon? Now, come on, guys, I just would like to walk here, please.
I mean, they have these catch mechanics, but it's not really resulting in much. You can see Score just eating that one, not even going to be taking a shot from Kramer. He's going to be going back to base, trying to get that completed Zeal item. Will be able to do so. Kuro fighting his way back in, going to get jumped on in underneath the turret, tries to dash back, but stutter steps for a second, but even so, still would have been dead as Smeb finds the kill with the parlay, now opening up in onto that turret with the help of Score. Should be able to take this one out. Kuro coming over to the side, trying to dissuade this from happening, but nothing's going to connect. The Dark Matter not going to hit, can't threaten him with the R. So tier 2 turret going down in the way of KT into that bottom side of the map.
Action in both mid and bot lane, but the Unbreakable answered everything Afreeca had, and KT were able to chase down and kill Unbreakable and Counter-Strike. There's so much extra tankiness to the sides of Braum Jax, and even to the team of KT Rolster. Very well used there. That's why they trade up, take the turret as well. The bot lane inner is down for the side of Afreeca Freecs.
Yeah, nearly the mid as well. Are able to hold on to it here for the moment as Afreeca, but moving forward, trying to get these objectives to themselves is just proving to be so difficult. Division control from KT already masterful, and that's how they are able to catch out Kramer right there. Just coming over the wall, scoops him up, Pawn finds the kill. And just like that, no more trap wall really to block them, just the two, and now Kuro under fire. Breakable going to be blocking out the majority of that culling. Spotted just going to pop up there on a Kuro, but no one can collapse forward to finish him off, but instead they'll just be focusing down the turret, so another inner going down in favor of KT, stretching that gold lead even further. 4.5 just about now in the lead for them, 3-2, so the kills not going to be the biggest numbers that we've seen, but the gold is steadily moving forward here.
And not to be outdone by Kuro's play in the last game. Sick drift coming through from Pawn and picking up the 0-sec play onto Kramer, who honestly was kind of caught with his pants down, had flash and heal up, didn't use either and died. By the time he had got the initial CC, there was no way to get out though, but Kramer caught unawares. Nice chance, and now from smart play in mid and bot, they've taken both inner turrets, and we mentioned how the main objective for KT is Baron. The Baron is getting cleaner and cleaner when it comes to set up opportunities. Only one inner turret left. KT not able to claim that objective yet, but they're so close to it.
You can see big damage coming through there from Smeb. 2 barrels, all those minions now gone. Trying to catch up as best as he can. Keen as far as the CS is concerned. The damage thrown down onto Kramer, but can't get the concussive blows procs.
I gotta say though, of this team is, okay, we'll see if there's any action here. A lot of damage going on to Tucson.
Corruption coming through. Forces the flash out there onto Tucson. Now out of both of their spells. Meantime, Smeb, he's gonna be looking for Keen. That calling, not at the right angle. Does get healed up. Does he have the damage? Smeb trying to trade this one back in, but actually, it's gonna be Keen coming up with a kill right at the end. He was able to finish him up, but he's got to get out of dodge. The score is waiting in the wings. Gets a bit of damage down there onto Spirit. Or to use the leap strike. More empowered hits. Might just finish off that Kha'Zix, but gets slowed up by the Void Spikes in the end. Not going to be able to get that killing blow.
The Baylight redemption there was so big. It's what turned the fight. Those extra autos at the end would not have happened without the redemption, and even the damage it does was not trivial. Big bailout from Tucson helps Keen get through the 1v1 that we're at the point of the game that Lucian starts to lose.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say, it just shows you how deadly this Gangplank is at the moment. Phantom Dancer, Yomo's Ghost Blade with the Trinity Force.
And you know what Smeb will say if you ask him post-game? He'll be like, I would have won that in the 1v1. Remember, this is the carry top lane 1v1 matchup between Smeb and Keen, and yeah, he'll say it was a dishonorable 1v1. He cheated. Got a redemption that put him over the edge. So Keen comes out with a kill. Cool, guys. Oh, look at explosions. We're going to see the replay here.
This is still not the Smeb replay that I want to see,
no,
OG.
Unfortunately not, but this would have been a one fight by Smeb, but the redemption here, the damage to Smeb, but also the healing to Keen. This would 100% have been Smeb's victory. When there's a duel, it's dishonorable to play this way, but the dishonorable victor is going to be Lucian.
Also, I don't think he got that barrel pop there right at the end, and that might have been enough to finish it off, but didn't quite happen. But that was one hell of a fight. It was certainly close. Smeb gave it his all, but at the end of the day, Tucson cheated.
It's a funny old game, League of Legends, as Afreeca trying to use this time with recalls to actually get some control back around the Baron that we talked about that hasn't been taken.
It might just be getting taken out of here. Tucson going to get popped up, does have that great health to go ahead and pop the shield, but it's still not going to be enough with the arrival of the rest of the members of KT. He gets taken down. Still fishing forward, looking for more, but members of Afreeca have kited back properly and gotten themselves to a safe distance.
And what might have been missed there is that Score solo zoned Kuro, just putting up counter strike. He has the gap close, he has flash. Had to use Event Horizon just to zone the jungler, and now the jungler's trying to secure a second Baron.
I mean, we saw Spirit get a steal in game number 1 on that Baron, gets healed up by the redemption as it goes low.
Oh, baby!
Pawn, all on its own, though, has to go golden, but the Baron still will be secured by Score, and now they're turning their sights back in onto the members of Afreeca. Event Horizon does slow up Smeb. He'll heal, he'll get himself out of there. The rest of the members just recalling back to base to try to deal with this push from Keen. They get the Baron, they're gonna lose the inner turret. 2 picked up there for Afreeca on that push, but now they can take so much more with this Baron that they have on 4 members.
So end up being more of a crapshoot than KT would have wanted for this Baron. Clearly, Pawn had the idea that he was going to be the one to interrupt, but he doesn't hit the ultimate onto Spirit. Spirit is there, isn't able to get the smite this time, of course, 50-50 at the best of times. Notice that Keen doesn't join the fight. He would not have been the difference here as another damage dealer. He does take a turret, obviously not a fantastic feeling. He gets some objective. Steal failed by Spirit, and now KT had the Baron. They've spent 31 minutes setting up for.
I mean, if he hadn't gotten those turrets, it would have been the gold so much more inflated for KT, so is at least able to bring something back into their favor and try to keep it as close as possible. But 32 minutes in, a little over 5,000 gold in the lead here for KT, so still in quite the strong spot. And that could still balloon up even more with this Baron buff that they have. Yet again, maybe even looking for a full court press. Smeb is up in that top lane where that last outer turret is laying. Seems like he's not playing quite as far forward though. Kuro is there catching the wave.
When I sat back and wondered about scalings, remember what I said, vision control wins you this game because of the identities of the two team comps. When you have all his turrets down, the vision control advantage is always there for KT, and getting those catches that were instrumental for KT in the previous game feels pretty impossible for Kuro on the Veigar. Otherwise, they don't have much CC at all. KT have shuttled the line between tankiness and damage. They have many more options for where to fight, and all Afreeca can hope for is kind of a mistaken positioning like this.
It's going to be Monty's there by Death, himself alive as much as possible, but Kuro is just going to pop him hard to win, and a Pawn in a bad spot, a double kill going over to the Veigar, and Afreeca, just like that, get rid of another Baron buff, and the game will keep on going.
Ask for a mistake, and apparently you rewarded one. KT just too far forward. Deletion damage cemented for Kuro. Death cap or no. Instant burst. Goodbye, AD carry. Goodbye, mid laner. Both damage dealers done. Pushing out the minion waves against Baron should have been impossible for KT. They're able to do so, and they want more.
Missile Voyage coming in to that mid lane. Can't quite get the catch there onto Score and Smep, but at least can push down and look for this turret here in the mid lane. Final outer. That'll bring it to a scoreline of 4-6 as far as those towers are concerned. And this is yet again more gold being brought in for Afreeca as they try to keep things at least close.
Ever have a League of Legends quiz and someone asks the question, what is the strongest non-ultimate ability? The answer is Event Horizon, just to be clear. I know it's not a multiple choice question, but every time you see Event Horizon and 5 members unsure what to do, you really understand just how insanely powerful that ability is. Solo allowing this team to actually push up without any sort of tank lineup. All they have is a Tom Kench to disengage one person. But Event Horizon feels like an Alistar standing there threatening to have but pulverize because no one can go anywhere near the zone of control.
Any League of Legends fan will tell you that this organization is not worth getting excited for. What is KT?
I mean, you want more.
That's the daily double.
And yet it's just so damn tempting to start the excitement.
You know,
not that I know anything about that.
Some people just like to suffer, you know?
Well, KT still have a very realistic chance of winning this game. I think they still have the better setup. They still massively control in terms of map pressure. All is not lost, but, you know, 1 mistake, 2 mistake, 3 mistakes, and this game could certainly go 2-0 the way of Afreeca Freecs, who have been solid from behind, you must say. Sort of thing that we'd wondered is, what would the late game shot calling be like without Marin? I think pass marks here in terms of being a lot more steady than you might imagine.
Yep.
No brain explosions so far.
Still plenty of time left.
That's true.
We made it to 46 minutes in game number 1. We're at the 35-minute mark here. So plenty more opportunities for brain explosions, but certainly something that well, both teams would like to avoid. But after that pick on the depth and Pawn, might be very close to that happening here from the side of KT Rolster.
But all KT have to respect is damage and the single CC. The moment that the Event Horizon is on cooldown, you can walk up and actually put down orders. Apparently not mid lane. This is 5 traps there.
And again, it's just, you know, it's like you said, pick your poison. What do you want to deal with? 5 traps or a big spooky circle?
Maybe pushing top lane, having 3 lanes pushing. I'll choose that one. Not able to do that so far. Smeb's going to try again against King, but he's brought back up this time. Both of them have
back. Calling's going to come through. Minions blocking a decent bit of that damage on the Event Horizon. Not going to be getting a catch. Ace in the hole will take a little bit of HP away from Pawn, but he's still going to be quite all right. But it seems like he and Smep is going to be taking a nice little trip back to base. And at the moment, it's likely just going to be this, you know, this wave clear coming through from both sides for a little bit longer. We're still a minute and 15 away from that Elder, a minute and a half from the Baron. Any action before then would be quite surprising.
Just smiling at the fact that there's 3 shields for Kramer. He has overheal, also the relic shield, also blood burst to shield.
I mean, this is the game where he would love to be playing the Conk Ball yet again.
4th shield also with the locket we should mention. No Janna to make it comical, but that's casual 1,000 health shield plus.
Where's my Caitlyn Righteous Glory play?
He's let us down. People wonder why, I often see in solo queue streams, people wondering why do you hold on to the relic shield so late?
Auto attack just hitting on at the end there.
But the big story there is that the overshield, the extra tankiness it provides, compared to say a bit of AD like a pickaxe, I'd probably take the overshield, Achilles. The overshield staying alive to put out more autos, more important than 25 AD. Some would argue even more AD. So much power, even the fact that you have a relic shield as AD carry. 38 minutes into the game, and start looking at numbers. Looking a bit scary here, especially in terms of the AP values that Kuro is managing to cook up.
Sand turret coming down here into the mid lane. KT yet again going to be grouping up. Just 25 seconds away from that Baron spawning.
Really clear, still reliable. Not putting any pressure on here. I'll wait for Jax to leap strike in and try to stun up a single target. And narrow the map with the Azir turret, but already low, so it does feel like you say, Baron and Elder are going to be the big story, although do see Afreeca finally pushing out.
Scorn going for the stun. The cleanse coming out immediately there from Tucson, keeps himself safe. Then Horizon zones back. Remaining members of KT just a little bit more there.
Do remember that now Tahm Kench is a target. Something like Varus ultimate might be enough to take him down, and then you can kind of run through Afreeca like a hot knife through butter. They are very squishy outside of the inherent tankiness of Tahm Kench Devour.
I mean, another thing that Afreeca really has to worry about is the double Guardian Angel that we have going on, the members here of Deft and Smeb. We're going to have to be killing them twice. It's already been proven quite difficult to finish off Smeb. Now looking to poke in from that right side.
KT, even with flashes up, basically the way it plays is wait for the event horizon, then all in. Here's the all in though.
That's going to be the Cannonball Barrage getting thrown down. Kian almost locked up with those concussive blows, but Kuro has eliminated Mana. Immediately just deleting him. Shield getting popped by Tucson. Event horizon coming down. Has 2 members locked up inside. Kuro will still be picked off, however. That's going to be 2 kills now. Going over to the members of KT Rolster. Deft finishing off Tucson now. Pawn finishing off Kian there with that Lucian, taking him out. I almost said Kramer because it's an ADC. But just like that, KT able to win the fight. They pull the trigger on it. Now they're going to be looking to knock down the inhibitors here. Kramer going to do his damnedest to try to defend this, but I think they have to give it up.
They're going to try and end Achilles. I think it's a possibility here. They still have 2 huge auto-attack threats in the Azir and the Varus, and if Gangplank can walk up, they can finish this game fast. There's no tankiness on Afreeca.
Tries to get that little pop there onto Kramer. Doesn't get too much damage, but now they're going to go in. That's going to be that counter-strike coming through. He gets absolutely annihilated, and KT will be able to finish the game here. Just shy of 40 minutes on the clock. They tie it up yet again. Papa Smithy, a Game 2 finish for KT. A Game 3 that has to be played between these 2 teams. But honestly, I couldn't tell you who's going to win this in the end.
We certainly invite a 3rd game between 2 of the big competitors for LCK Spring 2018. Azir has won both sides of this matchup. No one was able to take the reverse side and win the ultimate swag move, especially in the mid lane. KT Rolster do close out the game in the end. Feels like the team that does pick the more reliable 5v5 team, the more initiation in particular. That's my big takeaway. We're what, 6 games into LCK Spring. The team with the initiation is winning more often than not because games are going long, 1 pick, someone's dead, and it doesn't matter from there. So really big win here for KT Rolster. They want to start their season with a win. Afreeca thought they could escape with a 2-0, but the 2017 stories remain. 3 games between these 2. Every other time this happened in 2017, it was KT picking up the 3rd game win.
A glimmer of hope after they took out Deft and Pawn there, but not able to get it in the end. So Game 3 on the horizon. Seems like we're going to be going late, Papa Smithy. I mean, I guess we already kind of knew that from the issues at the beginning of the broadcast, but we're encroaching on 8 p.m. and we still have to go through Game 3, and then we got SKT versus Rocks Tigers on the horizon. But first, we got to settle the score here. Can Afreeca Freecs break the loss streak versus KT Rolster and walk away with a victory in their first match of the 2018 season? We're going to get ready to go to a break, and when we come back, we will be answering that question.
Blue side has so far taken this series. The blue side first pick going to be so important again. Very excited to see pick and back.
Yep. Seen GP, a big pressure there for KT to pick that one up. Will they do it a 3rd time? We'll find out when we come back, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back